The legal world is full of Latin phrases used to describe or name legal concepts that often shed little to no light on what the concept even means. The most common examples we receive are the questions that are what is per stirpes, what is per capita, and what does right of representation mean? Yes, that last one isn't Latin, but these three questions are always lumped together when discussing our clients' distribution plans in their wills and trusts. Today, I'll explain each to demystify the process. Hi, I'm Andrew Bethel, and before we begin, we'll use the same example distribution with some visuals for each concept so you can really understand the differences between everything. Now, in our hypothetical distribution, firstly, we have a mom named Connie. Connie has 3 children, Cara, Russ, and Susan. Susan, however, predeceased her mom Connie, meaning Susan died before mom. Susan has 2 children of her own, Gabby and Austin. So let's begin with per stirpes and right of representation, because they actually mean the same thing when it comes to an inheritance. If Connie were to distribute her assets per stirpes or by right of representation, then each of her children, Cara, Russ, and Susan, receive a 1/3 share. However, remember, Susan passed away before Connie, leaving 2 children. Under per stirpes right of representation, Cara and Russ still receive 1/3 each, but Susan's children share in Susan's 1/3 share equally. Susan had 2 children, Gabby and Austin. Therefore, they each receive 1/6 of Connie's estate. Now let's contrast that with per capita distributions. Under per capita, every beneficiary will share in the estate equally. And so going back to our example, as Susan passed before Connie, Connie now has 4 total beneficiaries: her children, Cara and Russ, and her grandchildren, Gabby and Austin. As per capita means equal to all beneficiaries, Cara, Russ, Gabby, and Austin each receive the same inheritance share, 1/4 or 1/4 each. An easier way to think about the matter is that per stirpes right of representation ties the percentage share of Connie's children's shares to how many children Connie has, while per capita ties this percentage share to how many beneficiaries Connie has at her death. As a bonus, there's also the concept of per capita at each generation. Personally, I've only seen this type of distribution in law school, but it is a potential choice. Under per capita at each generation, when you distribute your assets and a child predeceases you, shares are determined by the number of descendants at each level. To illustrate this, we'll use our same example with Connie and her family, but take it a step a little further and say that Cara also passed away before Connie and left 1 child, John. In this situation, Connie has 1 living child, Russ, and 3 living grandchildren, Gabby, Austin, and John. Under per capita, everyone receives a 1/4 share as there are 4 beneficiaries. However, under per capita at each generation, the equal sharing based on the number of beneficiary only occurs at each generational level. Connie's children would each share 1/3, but since Russ is alive at Connie's passing, Russ still receives his 1/3. The remaining 2/3 that would have gone to Cara and Susan are now to be shared per capita among their children equally, Connie's grandchildren. This means that 2/3 share is split equally between Gabby, Austin, and John at 2/9 shares each. I hope your executor and successor trustee enjoys fractions if you use one of these distribution plans. Remember though, when designing your estate plan, whether it be your will or trust, you have a lot of flexibility to design your distribution plan how you would like. These are just some examples of more straightforward distributions with deeply rooted histories though. Additionally, it's often best practice to either have right of representation or per capita distributions for residual shares of your estate. Those are the shares that you either didn't designate for a specific beneficiary or where designated beneficiaries have passed away before you. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to check out some of our other excellent videos here. But don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell, and tell us what you'd like for us to cover down in the comments below.